Hello, everybody. I believe we're streaming now. Sorry for the the swarm of schedule changes for those who are tuning in live on Twitch or attempting to. I had to change my schedule time a couple times today. Fortunately, since I'm trying to fit these streams during my lunch break at work, it's kind of subject to the changing winds of work demands. So, that all being said, here I am. I'm going to get started and see what we can do with a Rossiel side quest deck, which was what was voted by popular demand. Although it tied dead in a deadlock tie with Leadership Eomir, so I decided I'm going to do side quest Rossiel this week, and Leadership Eomir will be next week. So I'll do those back to back as a way to resolve that tie. Okay, so before we get started, their usual introductions. This is Teatime Tales, where I, Ian, take a experimental deck, a half-baked deck, against the quest, see how it does, see what that tells me about the deck. I reserve the right to scoop if things go horribly, which they can and often do in this game. There will likely be mistakes made, such as also the nature of this game, and especially when you're trying to stream the game and keep track of things, some stuff falls through the cracks. So I apologize for those in advance. And the name of this whole segment comes from both the time of day I do it at and also my love of tea, and kind of a newfound love of tea in the past few years. And today I'm drinking the White Orchard again, so it's pretty good. Get your hands on it if you can. That's about it. I think that's my lightning fast version of the intro today. Yeah, so this is a Rossiel side quest deck. What to say about it? I feel like, and I put this in my description of the deck on RingsDB, I feel like Solo Rossiel's kind of the white whale of LOTR LCG, just in the sense I've seen many attempts and I've tried many attempts, and it's like, it's not that they're bad, like they could meet some quests, but they just can't quite get there where they get to it's kind of a subjective thing, but that magical level where you feel like they give you confidence that they can take on a lot of quests. And Solo Rossiel never quite gets there because it just takes a while to get things set up, and other heroes can do the job faster. Yeah, and it is really a solo thing, because multiplayer I've had success with her. I mean, two-handed Rossiel was well, Rossiel was part of a two-handed setup that I used to beat Karn Doom, so I think that speaks to its power a bit. So it's not that she's bad in multiplayer necessarily, because she can do some things there. It's more of a solo thing, and just the time it takes to get her fully powered up, the deck space it takes up, and all of that when you don't have any other players to cover you. Yeah, Stokes, am I an hour early? I am. Originally I was supposed to do this at 1 p.m. and then I had to change my plans drastically thanks to work stuff. Hey, McDog. Yeah, and it's kind of a shame, because Rossiel's a hero that I love. I love her her theme. I love the backstory that was written in the pack she came out in, and I love this idea of kind of the subtle elf magic. So I really want to find a solo deck that I like with her. So this is an attempt. I'm not sure how successful of an attempt we'll kind of find out today. So the idea is to pair her with Thurindir to get side quests going. The main reason why is Thurindir gives you guaranteed access to Scout Ahead, which I've gone ahead and pulled out thanks to Thurindir's setup ability. Because, as a reminder, when you defeat Scout Ahead, you can search the top 5 cards of the deck and solo, and pick out one card to put in the victory display, and that works perfectly for Rossiel's ability. You know, if she shares a trait, if the active location shares a trait with a location in the victory display, she gets +2 will, and if the attacking enemy shares a trait with an enemy in the victory display, Rossiel gets +2 defense. So my strategy for this deck is using Scout Ahead to put a location in the victory display early to pump up her willpower, and that means I don't have to include Leave No Trace in the deck, which is, you know, like I said, deck space is an issue, so trying to find ways to not have to run 3 copies of each. So I only have to run 3 copies of None Return for the enemies. And you could do it the reverse way. I haven't experimented with using Scout Ahead for enemies and using Leave No Trace, so that's something someone else could run and try. Let's see, I think the rest will come out. Tactics Awen is the 3rd hero, was the tough one. I tried Leadership Sam. Oh, I guess he's the only Sam other than the ally. But Sam hero, and then also it just didn't quite work with what I was trying to do, so then I used Tactics Awen again. No shame, I haven't gotten tired of her yet, which helps in the early game, as you will see, and with attack power. So that's about it. The deck on RingsDB is called Let the Sideshow Begin. Like many of my deck titles, it's based on a song. If you don't know it, it's a classic 70s oldies tune called Sideshow by the group Blue Magic. And that is your music PSA for today. Alright, enough blabbing, let's get going. I'm playing Thing in the Depths today, which I really haven't played at all since I beat it when it came out during the Dream Chaser cycle. And I did play it a couple times testing this deck, and I usually have a little bit higher level of confidence of what's going to happen. I have a feeling this might go terribly wrong, but maybe that will be its own entertainment. So strap in, hold on to your butts. We're going to do this and see how far I get before dying. Okay. For Thing in the Depths, we start with Helm of the Stormcaller, the helm of the ship that we are on board, and an Umbar Raider is there. Of course, we have Nasia and Captain Sahir that start out of play, and while they remain out of play, they get 1 resource. When we eventually travel to the Helm of the Stormcaller, then they come into play. So really, the lion's share of this scenario is all about how you manage that. Do you try to face them early when they don't have many resources, but you might hurt yourself by not being as ready as you think you are to handle a 6 attack and however much Nasia is pumped. And she also clears out all events from hand, so no fainting. And then also the other approach, which you're probably going to see from me, is just letting them pile up resources, getting set up, and then, you know, doing some defending, throwing some chump blockers their way. The downside is that Helm of the Stormcaller gets +1 quest point for each resource token on a raider. So if you let them get up and they have like 8 each, then you really have to make a lot of progress to get to the next round. So generally I've been getting them to about 6 or 7 resource tokens each, and as I mentioned, it's had mixed success. So we'll see how it goes. Turn 1, let's go. Okay, and Thurindir is interesting with the timing of when the side quest comes into play, but I've already grabbed it into my deck and have not taken a mulligan. So we'll go ahead and put Scout Ahead out. The tricky part of this deck, like many decks, is the first round because you need Rossiel for questing so she can't defend. Fortunately, we have a feint, so we do have an option there. So we'll hold the tactics resource for that. We can't play Treebeard. We could play a healer, we could play a Lembas. Let's see. I want to get this raider into play into the victory display if I kill him, so I need to keep a resource. Let's see, if I feint him, then he's not gonna take my resource. So I guess let's get a healer out first, just to make sure. Usually you can't get Rossiel high enough that she takes no damage, so having that early healing is good. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I'm not gonna do that because I want to save up for quick Treebeard rather. So, yeah, I'm having a problem with my hotkeys here. That's fun. Okay. So I'm just gonna play nothing. That sounds like a solid strategy. So I will send everyone, which is 4, 6, and 8 against 4. Okay. And it looks like my keyboard is malfunctioning here, but I think I should be able to get through it. I'm just not going to be able to use the hotkeys. Okay, so we get crew quarters. So that is 8 to 1. 8 to 2, 4 plus 1 is 5. That's 3 progress on our scout ahead. Boo. Oh, this is gonna be a pain. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm not sure why my having technical difficulties, but it's gonna be a pain if I have to manually do each token. But we'll see. Okay, so I made 3. We are going to travel. Well, it's only 1 threat. Actually, I think I'm just gonna leave it there. Let's bring down him. He is going to get a shadow card. We shall play Feint. And discard it. So the Umbar Raider is not able to attack. We're going to raise our threat by 3. That's why I said you'd see Awen in the early game. I'd love to use her ability against Nasia or Secure Leader, actually, but a lot of times I just end up needing it to clear out an early enemy to compensate for the slow start. That's basically one of the reasons why Awen is here. So that basically takes care of the... Oh, let's not do that, because we are going to pay a resource for none return. This will be our victory display over here. We added the Umbar Raider using this, and that basically means now Rossiel can defend for 4 against those raiders, which will be handy against the big twosome. Okay, I think that about does it. At the end of the round, each of these guys is going to get a resource. Okay. And we move to next round. Okay. Got an elven male. This is a tricky one. Because I want to play Treebeard, but if I draw an enemy, I'm potentially going to be left flat-footed, but I think with this deck, I need to play a little bit fast and loose. So let's pay for Treebeard. And then we're going to quest against Scout Ahead against 3 in the staging area. We will send 4. And I could just send 6 to 3 and hope that's enough, but I really want to knock this out. So let's send everyone and hope for the best. Yeah, that could have gone better. That's a pain. Okay. Well, the good news is I do make enough to explore this. That means we get to look at the top 5. The good news, and part of why I took that risk, is because if I go through, then I know at least I can control what the shadow's gonna be. First, let's pick one to add to the victory display. Let's add this one because it has the highest threat. So Rossiel can now quest for 4 whenever the active location is a ship. Let's see what else. Now I just need to... Let's make this guy the shadow. And then... unfortunately, because of this guy's ability, he is going to get 2 shadows the next turn. So really, I'm only going to be able to control the shadow this turn, the reveal next round, and the 2 shadows. So that kind of sucks. Usually it's nice to have more control, but oh well, at least I have that measure. Because basically it's going to look like this. He's going to be the shadow this round, this is going to be the reveal, and then this is going to be his shadow and the additional shadow from his ability. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put these ones back. One of the nice things about running the Therindir approach with Rossiel is at least that out of Scout Ahead gives you some extra control of what you're doing. In the early game, again, where you're weak, I'm not going to travel there, even though that gives Rossiel a bonus, because that would give this guy more shadows. Let's see. Okay. So he's going to come down. He's going to get a shadow, which I know is going to be nothing, so I'm just going to take it undefended. Not that I have a choice. That goes to discard pile. Again, if you're wondering why I'm doing everything the slow way, it's because my keyboard is in some weird mode. That I could get myself out of, but I'm not sure how to do it right now while I'm streaming. So we will do things the slow way. Okay. So that's 3 damage on Therindir. That's all I can do, unfortunately. Let us move to the next round. Treebeard does get a resource. Let's see. The good news is, let's see, there's 3 cards worth no victory points, so these Keena's Lances are 2 each. After I collect resources, I have to move 1 resource to the Corsair Infiltrator pool. I'm going to move it from Therindir. I could play Lembas in case I need to do an extra defense, which is probably the smart move, just in case. Up against 3 still. Let's see. We need 5 to kill him. Right now we can't put progress on the stage anyway, so let's just send 4. I guess we can send Rossiel too, since we're just gonna feint this guy. Actually, I know exactly what this is. Yeah, this is 2 threat. Boop, boop, boop. So that's 2, 3, 5 to 6, because there's no active. Okay, so I don't raise my threat. I don't place progress. Let's see, if I go here, then he'll get +1 defense. Let's see, I'll have 6. Okay, that's fine. I can still kill him. So this becomes active. Corsair Infiltrator gets 2 shadows. We will go ahead and feint that. In case you're wondering, I might as well use these feints, because again, when Nasia comes down, then she discards each event in your hand. So for the same reason, I should Keena's Lances as well. And I also forgot to put resources on this guy these ones last turn. They're at 2. Okay, so 2 and 4, that's 6. That is enough, even with the boosted defense, to kill this guy. Okay, and now we're in the Wild West where I don't know where the rest of the encounter deck is. Also known as the regular game. Treebeard. It's a resource. Let's see now. I think more than anything I need new cards. So let us pick these 2 and spend their resources. I'm going to save the tactics so I can play Elven Mail for Keena's Lances. There are 3 cards with no victory points, so that's why I can play it. Now Keena Lances is in the victory display, and I can draw 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. I got a Legacy Blade, which are in here to help with the side quest shenanigans. Thurindir is a great option for attack here. Rokafuke's asking, are there other options besides Feint for early defending in the deck? Yes, not as many as I would like, but essentially you have Lembas to let Rossiel kind of pop up and defend. You have Treebeard if you're able to get him out early enough, and one of the parts of the deck is getting Magic Ring out, hopefully, but that's kind of dependent on whether you can get either Gather Info or the Magic Ring out, which lets Rossiel ready. So yeah, one of the main issues with the deck is the kind of defensive weakness at the beginning of a game. Which you could, one potential that I didn't explore is maybe having the third hero be more defensive minded. But then one of the problems in a side quest deck is you really want that high starting willpower so you can actually get through the side quest. So the whole Rossiel and Rossiel side quest deck presents a lot of opportunity cost choices you have to make. Okay, well, we do have a Lembas. We have... Let's see. I'm wondering if I should use Treebeard's resources to get an Ent out, which I think I should. Because time and getting set quickly are super important. Even though I would like to have Redding available for him. Having an Ent out would be good. Durin's father, Rossiel, is saying, Rossiel and Thurindir going to be full victory display tonight. Well, hopefully. And nice to see Thing in the Depths again. Yeah, like I mentioned at the top, I have not really played this one since it came out. Okay, so let's go. Let's see, we're facing down 3. We need to get through 2. That's not too bad. We can send 4. We can send Rossiel for 4 because we know that she has Lembas there. So 8 to 3, that should be enough to get through that. Hopefully. Boop. Okay, there's no raiders. And there's no engaged non-ship enemies. We do get the quarter deck, unfortunately, which means I'm gonna be short one. That's terrible. I was afraid of that one. It's too bad I don't have the doors closed. That was the one card in here that could make me fall short, basically. Should have set Thurindir, but who knew? I wanted to have enough to attack back and kill something if needed. Yeah. Well, not much I can do about it now. So these ones are going to get an extra resource. Hopefully I've been keeping track appropriately of how many they have. Next round. Okay. I could put Elven Male on, which I think I should do actually as the first move. Kind of Rossiel's defensive setup is Elven Male for extra hit points, Honor Guard for damage cancellation. I do have a Gondorian shield, and then her own defense boost. So it's enough to do some defending. Maybe can't hold up to the worst. And could put out a Warden. Think I might play this last Keen of Lances to get some more options. 2, 3. Okay. Why weren't you here earlier? Doors closed. I could have used you for the quarter deck. I do have Keep Watch, which will be a nice option to have. Okay. I think that'll do it. I could put out another Lembus, but I'll save my money. Okay, we're up against a lot, so we're gonna have to send 4 and 7 and 11 and 13 against 7. Oh, I forgot to give a resource to Treebeard. Okay. Cargo hold. So 13 to 9, that's enough. All that matters is we get rid of this one because we still can't put progress on this quest. Okay. I should travel to the quarter deck. No, that doesn't get progress as much as I want it to. Just starting to think about what point I could take these on. Let's see. Oh, and the other key part of her defensive setup is a Burning Brand, because she can take 6 to 4 with some spillover. 6. Let's see. 5. Just doing some math here. I could technically absorb both of those attacks and then try to quest through. But maybe I wait one more turn. Okay, these are going to go up to 4. Like I said, I've usually... Oh, there's Burning Brand. Good timing. Usually I've been waiting till they're about 6 or 7 or 8. But maybe I'll try going a little lower when I'm not quite set up, which could be very dangerous. Okay. How do I want to do this? Well, I definitely want to pay 2 for Burning Brand, because Rossiel is a defender that's a bit on the squishier side and she does have lower access. Burning Brand is essential. I would like to save for the healer or doors closed. I could do Keep Watch, but I don't think I'm going to plow through it. And the other option is to put out a Vassal, which would help with attacking Sahir back if I choose to do that this round. Another good option, because I'm trying to think of whether I'll have enough. Let's see, I'm up against 5. I need to get through 3. The problem is I haven't gotten my Gather Info or Magic Ring or the Road Goes Ever On, which could help me find Gather Info. So if I use up Lembas now, she's going to be stuck without good redding. I don't think I put a resource on Treebeard. Let me drink my tea and ponder. Another option here is to put Lembas on Thurindir so he could potentially attack. Let's see, how much could I attack Zahir for? 3, 7. Yeah. I think I might have to do that. I really want to save the Lembas for Rossiel, but I think it's going to give me more flexibility here to do what I want to do. So let's do it. So we'll send 4. We shall send 7 and 11 against 5. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah, well, I'm not engaging these guys, am I? Well, actually, this doesn't affect any of them, huh? That's actually I just realized everyone that's ready has more than 1 defense. Okay, so that was actually a rare LOTR LCG whiff. They do happen still, guys. Living proof. Okay, so that's, let's see, 4, 7, 11 versus 5. That's more than enough to clear out the quarter deck. All right, I think it might be. I'm scared because usually I've been waiting a little longer, but I think it might be time to take on the gruesome twosome. What do you guys think? Too bad I couldn't play the doors closed because she's going to be up to 5. She's going to attack for 7. So she could potentially kill Treebeard. Ugh. I just know that's going to happen too. Oh boy. I wonder if I should wait a little bit, but this is my last chance to defend with Treebeard. Okay. Fortune favors the bold. Let's do it. I may end up regretting this, and this could be the end of the quest. But and we can talk about why this was the wrong decision, but let's do it. So these two are going to come into play because I traveled to the Helm of the Stormcaller. They are in the staging area, I believe. Not that it matters for solo, because they're going to come down right away. And then Nasia is going to discard the doors closed because she is evil like that. Just kidding, Nasia, I love you. Okay. And they're going to get shadows. Shadow for Nasia. Higher engagement costs. Shadow for Zahir. Let's see. If I wanted to be safe, I could actually I have high enough defense to block Nasia's attack. 7 to 4, that's 3 damage. It's too bad I quested with Nasia because now the Limbus healing is not going to be worthwhile, but I'm going to have to start getting out the Warden next turn. This is going to get tricky. Okay. I think that might be the best route though. So she's going to ready. She's going to defend Nasia's attack. The shadow won't matter. Ooh, it's that guy. That's a good shadow to go away. That means she's going to take 7 to 4 is 3 damage. Okay, she's going to lose 1 token from attacking. I'm going to defend Sahir with Treebeard. Oh. No! Why? Of all shadows, no! I should have defended Sahir with Rossiel instead. Oh, that is brutal. That is brutal. Treebeard's dead. Yeah, that might be it for my game plan here, because Treebeard was truly essential for what I was trying to do. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm going to have nightmares about that. Not even just the bad treachery, but the fact I miscalculated and defended with the wrong... Defended Nicia against the wrong person. If that wasn't enough, that means he's going to get 4 tokens instead, and I don't get the attack power I needed to knock him out. Yeah, I think that one shadow might have swung things. I think if I would have swung the other way, I would have been in good shape to do something here. Ugh. Ugh, that is about as painful as it gets in this game. Okay, he's going to lose all his damage. So it's 3 and 5 against 2, so he's gonna lose 3. If I had Treebeard around, he would be down all the way to 1. Actually, he would be below that because he wouldn't have gotten 4 resources. I'm not bitter. I'm not sure of what I could possibly get here that would allow me to survive. Honestly, because now this thing is 10, I gotta make 14. Put out a warden. Put out vassal just as a chump blocker. Let's see, can I even defend even if I have the shield? 6 to 5 is 1. Yeah, I could. So I guess I can use the last for a shield. Although I'm probably gonna have to quest with Rossiel anyway. Yeah, RPG Beard, he's become lumber for the ship. Duran's father says, and also A1 bombs to here and take him down. I would, except for I used him on just a random pirate named Bill at the beginning of the scenario. Yeah, this is gonna be it pretty soon, unfortunately. Well, I took a risk defending with Treebeard, and defended the wrong one, and it's just kind of one of those things that goes that way. Let's see, so we're up against 3. I need to get through 10, 14. So I would need to send 17 minimum. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I have to plan for defense here. Well, 4. Let's see. Rossiel can defend 1. I can chump 1. If I chump to Sahir, though, he's gonna... No, I don't have to. Okay. Is it even worth holding back an attacker? Not really. 4, 7, 9 to 3. Oh, yeah, that doesn't make things good. Easier. 9 to 5 is 4. I always like how you can hear the defeat start to seep into a Lord of the Rings player's voice as they see their inevitable fate approaching. I'm sure that's what I sound like right now. So he's gonna come down, which is gonna make things even worse. Oop. Okay. Well, let us defense here, which is 6 to 5, which is 1 damage. Ugh, not a resource. I wish I got a resource from that. And he's gonna get 2 tokens because he's just annoying like that. Okay, I'll chump the vassal. Not much choice. Exhaust the character you control. Okay. That was my fault for not doing the healing already, which is what I was gonna do on Rossiel. So that is my fault for not thinking ahead and taking advantage of timing when I know there's knowing there's an exhaust. There's plenty of exhaust shadows in here. Let's see. What did I miss? Heroic Logic. I recognize the voice. Mythos Busters. Yep. Yeah. I'm on Mythos Busters as well, playing the Arkham. Sometimes I get my wires crossed when I'm drawing in Lord of the Rings, and I'm very afraid I'm going to draw a weakness. I'm just going to have to take this. And the eagle is dead. Defending character. There is no defending character, so that's nothing. He has no resources to grab. Joke's on you, pirate. So that's 3 on Therndir. This is pretty much the definition of treading water right now. Okay. Let's see. I need 10, 11, so I need 7 more, 11 total. Yeah, I think this round is probably going to be all she wrote. Unfortunately. That's okay. I had a feeling things might go this way. This quest has a way of having some crazy swings. I mean, that's about all I can do. At this point, I'm tempted to try to just quest through and see what kind of quest numbers I can put up and then just get obliterated. So let's do that. 4 and 7 and 11 and 13 versus 3. So that's 11. That is, let's see, 6, 7. Let's see, I put, how many? I did 4, 7, 11. 4, 7, sorry, 11, 13 versus 5. Yeah, so I made 8. So that's enough for our 6 to clear this to the victory display and to put 1 progress here. Yeah, that's not going to do it. Almost. Yeah. I just didn't have the questing numbers at the end, unfortunately. Yeah, the good thing is if you're able to get through it, then you get Sahir and Nasia as your allies, as McDog is pointing out, and then that lets you defend the tentacles that come out. But even with the Warden committed, I still didn't have enough, so that will about do it. I don't have any real defense here. I mean, I could try. I mean, I sound so defeated. Okay. Let's just play out the combat round. Let's give them shadows. Oh look, there's no cards left in the encounter deck, so technically this goes to this guy. Yeah, I mean, I would lose 2 heroes. No big deal. So I would chump here to Sahir, I guess. The Warden... Why am I putting him there? The Warden dies. Sahir gets 2 resources. Not that it matters. These guys would each get 1. I wonder which heroes I would even kill off in that instance. I guess I would have to kill off everyone but Rossiel. Yeah, McDougall Warden joined the Corsair crew. He was done with these losers. I don't quite blame him. I would have Nasia kill Awen, so that I deny the raider his resource when he kills Thurindir. These don't go. Bum bum bum. New round. I am doing some masochistic stuff here. These can't pay for anymore. I'm just curious of whether I can get enough willpower to clear it out. I want a moral victory. Is that so bad? 4, 6, 8. I'll send everyone. If I don't even get a moral victory, then that is pretty sad. Okay. Let's see. 2, 3, 5, 8. I do not get my moral victory. I didn't make enough to get there. Okay. Well, that's it. This scenario has comprehensively defeated me thanks to a single shadow that was just debilitating. I think it's obvious that without that shadow, things would have been much differently. Treebeard would have been alive. He would have struck back, gotten rid of all of Sahir's resources, which means I probably would have only had to quest through like an additional 4 or whatever Nasia had at that time. And the stage, which I probably would have been able to do. I wouldn't have lost all the allies that I had to use chumping. I would have made it to the next stage and had a good chance of making it through. Not 100%, but a good chance. So, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is I probably, instead of defending with Treebeard, because, you know, I forgot all the shadows that are in here, but now that I know there's just a straight +2 attack, I knew there were some +1 attacks that I shouldn't have defended with the Treebeard, which means I would need to maybe wait one more round to get a chump out and just chump one of the big bosses and make sure I keep Treebeard alive. In a lot of my plays, I was able to get the magic ring out using gather information or just having the magic ring pop up through card draw, etc. And that makes a huge difference, so not seeing the magic ring hurt there. Because potentially you can do stuff like Nasia could have magic ringed to ready after defending one. Let's see. No, she was exhausted, so she could have used the magic ring to ready, defend one, then use Lambos to heal off the damage and defend the second. So I could have defended twice with her with a Burning Brand. That would have been another kind of foolproof method. So it was just a case of not having, you know, of course it's easy to blame it on one shadow effect, but I tried to dig deep and think about, well, what in my deck allowed that shadow effect to wreck me. I mean, in some cases, just no matter how good your deck is, a shadow effect will just wreck it. And so, but I think there's also cases, there's stuff I could have done, and but I think it just, Roka Fuchs is saying in the chat, the moral, just don't play Rossiel solo. You know, I mentioned the magic ring and not having the pieces. That again, that's kind of the problem with Rossiel. Just those pieces you need. And I do like the Rossiel side quest idea, but then in a sense, it almost adds more pieces you need. Although it does help you. Kind of the idea behind the side quest is to help me get the pieces faster. Like Scout Ahead gets the victory display pieces, Gather Info gets Magic Ring. And the Road Goes Ever On can help grab Gather Info, so it's kind of a chain. But still, at the end of the day, you're really looking at Elven Mail, a Burning Brand, Gondorian Shield, Magic Ring, plus some healing effects to really get Rossiel to the point that she can handle these boss-type enemies and swarms of enemies. And that's a tough ask in solo, because when you're using up that much deck space and hero space and cards and in hand and resources, it just kind of puts some gears in the works, which makes it harder to find space for other things. And so you can see some of the like defensive of frailty at the beginning, which I tried to paste over with stuff like feint, etc. So it's just a tough go. Like I said at the top, Rossiel Solo is kind of the white whale of Lord of the Rings, the card game. I could be wrong. If you have a Rossiel Solo deck out there that you think just annihilates and is really good, I'd love to hear it, because I want her to be good solo. And again, in multiplayer, I've had great success. She helped me beat Harn Doom, but the solo is tough. That being said, it's a fun deck. It has beat other quests. I have actually beat the Thing in the Depths with the deck, if things go right. But with a lot of heavy combo decks, it's just that in solo, it's just that matter of will things go right. So, but it's worth trying. It's worth check on RingsDB. Again, it's Let the Sideshow Begin is the deck name. See if there's any things you would suggest to make it tighter or more consistent, or even if there are completely alternate versions for a third hero that you think would be better, because I think Tactics A1 is a good choice, but there are other options to really get Rossiel solo where she needs to be. But yeah, I think I still remain skeptical on how far it can go, just because of the setup time required. But again, I think if you're using the deck, just be conscious of that. Temper your expectations. It can beat some of the less demanding quests. This quest actually, and the reason I picked it is because it is pretty demanding in the early game and facing these big enemies. So instead of taking a kind of cake scenario for this deck to face, I wanted to give it a stress test, and in this case it got very stressed. Very stressed out indeed. Yeah, I'd love to hear any thoughts on the deck on RingsDB as far as ideas for how you think Rossiel solo should be built, and maybe with the collective community groupthink we can one day catch the white whale without sinking our ship and everyone else alongside us, and try to craft the perfect Rossiel solo deck. But I do like the idea of using Thurandir alongside in the side quests. It does help at least some aspects of the deck be more consistent, for sure. Alright, last thoughts. Durin's father is mentioning she would be great in Assault on Osgiliath or Emyn Muil. Lots of options to clear side quests. Lots of location enemies with the same trait. Yeah. This another reason why this quest is tricky is because we didn't see it because we didn't get to the next section, but you get your handy Corsair enemy in the victory display, and then all of a sudden they're all removed and you have tentacle enemies, so you gotta hurry up and get your other copies of None Return so you could put those in. So this was not like a great match for Rossiel. There are other quests that potentially this deck would do much better against. Okay, until next time, follow my Facebook page, Tales from the Cards. Follow me on Twitter at TalesFTCards, where you can vote on the next deck I play. Although next week, on Friday, I will be playing Leadership Aemir solo. Let's see, any other things? I don't believe so. Until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week for Teatime Tales.